Happy to answer any questions. I think you heard my comments inside that the transition is started, and we're working at to making sure that the state of Rhode Island stays safe during the transition. And I mentioned, this transitions are not new to me, right? I've had the opportunity to become a mayor-elect and transition into office, and I also have been a mayor where I had to usher a new administration in. I understand the dynamics, and I understand how that process works. So right now we're in the process of that transition, and we're doing everything we can to make sure that people of the state of Rhode Island are safe.
How awkward or difficult has this been? Is this given that it's no secret that you really don't have much of a relationship with the governor, and she didn't keep you in the loop on COVID or other stuff?
Yeah, so it's not, because like I mentioned up there, is that we've had good interaction with the staff members and all the decision makers in the state on a very level playing field. So our learning curve is going to be short, but there is a learning curve, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that we're prepared as when the governor heads to her Commerce Secretary position in Washington.
Does it trouble you that you've essentially been left out of the loop up until now?
No, because that's the way that process works in the state of Rhode Island. Certainly, I have been public about the fact that I think we should be running as a team and managing it as a team, but that'll take a constitutional change. So you work with what you have and you make it work, and that's what we've done.
It seems that Governor Raimondo isn't going to be answering questions in the foreseeable future. You said inside you can only have one governor. Who's going to be speaking for the people of Rhode Island for the next month or so, however long this confirmation takes, and answering people's questions?
Well, that's the governor's decision how she communicates, and so I'm sure her staff will, and that's why I'm sitting here telling you that we're going to communicate like this to everyone and do the best we can to deliver what we know. And that's what I tell you. I tell you what I know.
What's your sense the timing, Governor?
Please?
What's your sense as to timing as to when you're going to become governor?
Yeah, so I think that's a really important question, because our planning really depends on that date, right? So if I'm elected in November and I take over in January, I know how to back out that date in the preparation. So the best that we can tell right now, based on what we've heard, that it should be sometime in mid-February, in that range, give or take a few weeks. And so that's what we're doing, that planning, until we hear a different date, and then we'll adjust our planning at that point in time.
Other than COVID, as you said, you keep that constant. Do you plan any significant changes or anything a lot different from what we're seeing now?
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons we wanted to make this about COVID, because the health and the vaccine and the public safety. My message has been, looking in 2021, we're going to stay positive about the state of Rhode Island, but we're going to test negative. And so the main thing that we're doing right now is focusing on that here today. But we knew that those questions were going to be asked, and that's why immediately we'll be, tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, we'll be down at a Cello's restaurant outside a health club, and we're going to really focus on those issues that you just talked about that are important outside of the virus and the impact it's had on the state. But the issue right now is to contain that virus and to get people vaccinated.
Do you have confidence in Dr. Alexander Scott and her team that they're on the right track, that you're going to follow their advice?
Yeah, that was an easy request by the governor to say yes to. So, I think that was a request that the governor made of me, was to keep that team in place. And I believe that we'll bring expertise as well to the table to enhance on that. But I think that they've got a really good foundation to work off of.
How do you
That's the
feel
thing that
about-
make it giving wrong information to the Latino community.
Please?
That is the thing, they giving the wrong information to the Latino community, keeping us as dark. They keep you dark, and you complain that she never talked to you, and you say it was a smooth transition.
Well, no,
You
I
don't do that.
never complained that she's not talked to me, because I've always said that we're talking to the department heads.
We interviewed you
And
before,
they-
and you said
and-
they didn't communicate with you.
That's the truth. So the fact of the matter is that we haven't had
That you don't have
discussions.
a relation with her.
I haven't said that either. What I've said is that we have not spoken, but that doesn't mean that we don't know what's going on. And you're right. I think that there was explanations that said that we need to get into the Latino community sooner and faster, and I've acknowledged that.
Okay, everyone, thank you. Lieutenant Governor is going to head out now. He's got a few meetings
So,
to take
good,
care of.
Question, what do you
Take-
think of the kind of circus around everybody raising their hands to become the lieutenant governor?
Yeah, so we'll talk about that. I would say this: the decision has not been made on that, and we're trying to clarify with the General Assembly, in fact, whether I'm going to have the ability to make that appointment. And then if I do, there'll be a process and a vetting process.
You're not sure at the moment?
I believe that's what's going to happen, but we haven't heard it officially from the House or the Senate. But that's what my understanding through my conversations with both the Speaker and the Senate President.
What's the intent tomorrow? What are you having tomorrow, press gathering?
Well, I think that the idea is that that the media is very interested in, and as well as to communicate to the people in the state of Rhode Island what are the things I'm working on, what are the things I'm thinking about, and so I think that's the idea, is to do it in a group, so that we're not picking and choosing who we're interviewing with, and we're giving everybody the opportunity to weigh in, and then we'll do that tomorrow, and then whatever we know we'll tell you, and what we don't know we'll tell you we don't know, and we'll keep on catching up on things.
Yep.